Good afternoon. So this is just a quick tutorial on how to assemble the 3D printed Hens Nest face mask that we got off of GrabCAD. So in order to do that, you're going to start by 3D printing three parts. When we do these here at the house, we actually gang them. So I will typically print both the outer ring and then the lock ring, and then we'll also print the actual mask part as well. So we'll run a bunch of these pieces off because they go in tandem. They both fit on the 3D printer. And then what we'll do is we'll go back and we'll print several of these. So these take about 25 minutes. It takes about 30 minutes to do a pair of these. So you're looking at roughly an hour to produce parts for one mask. So assembly is very, very simple, but I want to point out something that when these print, the bottom is likely to be flat. And if you look carefully, you're going to notice that the top side has a slight radius around the edges. You want to assume that you want the radius against the face. So you're going to put the actual cage, this part, on the side that has the flat on it. And again, that's just ergonomically correct. You don't want to have sharp edges against face. There will be padding inside of here, but we want to make sure that we put it together. So assembly, you want to take your cage, and it has small teeth here or protrusions there. You want to face those away from this, and you want to have the rounded edge kind of facing towards you the way I'm holding it. I usually start up in the corner. I'm going to take the hook, slide it inside of there, and I suggest going corner to corner. And the reason is this is not the most flexible, and PLA can be brittle and crack, so you want to kind of limit the amount of flex you put in it. So I'm using all three fingers, and I'm flexing that piece, but then I'm also going to flex the ring to kind of mate them together. Sorry, I have to hold them up here, and then snap it in. So you'll wind up with something that looks like that, and you'll notice it popped in very, very easily. And then from there, just go in and finish up the other one. So carefully flex the two pieces together. What you don't want to do is put pressure on one specific one specific joint. You want to spread it out across them. That's what makes this work. All right. And again, we're going to put pressure across them, flex that, get the tooth underneath it. And you might have to wiggle a little bit and they'll slide in, and you'll wind up with your face cage. All right, just like that. The next thing that we're going to do, and I'm going to swivel my screen down here so hopefully you can see it, is we've got our blue shop towel. I'm going to lay the mask right in position with it, kind of on the center, just eyeball it. And the best way to do this is fold one side in, flip the other side in. Then you're going to roll the bottom side in. And then to finish up, carefully take it corner by corner and kind of pull all of those in. You're going to wind up with something that looks a little bit like a bowl. You're going to take your lock ring and put the nose piece under first and kind of get it pinched in there. And then you're just going to carefully work it under the edges of the cage. You'll be able to feel it snapping in. This lock ring has a fair amount of flex, and you'll tuck it down in there. Once it's in, kind of seat everything in position. If you want to, you can cut the excess out. I don't know that you necessarily need to, but you'll wind up with a mask just like this. All right, it's not the prettiest thing, but it does work. Okay, and now you've got good filter material in there, and it does provide some level of comfort. So now that we've got our face mask completely assembled as far as putting the filter material in and the 3D printed pieces, what we need to do is we actually need to add our bands, our elastic bands. So it was suggested that you just use rubber bands. They're commonly available. I do want to point out that rubber bands typically are made out of latex rubber. Okay, so your standard rubber band's this type. So if you have somebody who has latex allergies, you need to be aware of that. I grabbed whatever I had on hand, so I did have a bag of size 32 rubber bands here at home. And in the original video, they suggest using 4 for each strap, and that's what we're going to do. So you're going to connect these together quite simply. Take 2 of them, lay the loops across each other. You're going to reach underneath and pull them together just like this. All right. In other words, you're making a square knot. And then continue that until you have 4 of them together. So I lay one on top of the other, reach underneath, pull through, square knot, and of course, one more. Now, technically speaking, these should be able to stretch with just one rubber band, but it would be very, very thin and it would hurt your face. So pull through. And now we've got one of our loops. And believe it or not, this is enough. So, all right, what we're going to do now is we want to put a small loop on the end. So I'm going to pinch just a tiny bit. And the smaller you can get it, probably the better. It's a little bit tricky, but get that loop fed through. And you might have to try once or twice. And I'm actually going to push the knot down towards it. I don't want it to be very big, so that's almost going to be too big. That's about the limit of what you want. Pull it tight, flip it, take the other side. All right, and we're going to do that again. All right, so I'm going to pinch a small loop. And again, just put a little knot in it. As far as size goes, that's about what you want. Okay. From there, we're going to wrap it around the horns that are underneath your filter material. So find kind of the 2 teeth or the 2 horns, and you can see it better right here now. And I wiggle them a little bit to seat them in with the paper towel that's in there. Come around to the other side. Try and get it wrapped around one horn. And stretch it. Wiggle it to seat, and now you've got your first strap on. And I'm not going to bother showing the second side. The second side, build another strap and attach it on the bottom, and then you'll have 2. So you should have one on top and then one down here. And those will fit on, of course, around your head. All right, and that's how you assemble your Hens Nest face mask. All right, and many thanks to the people that came up with this and posted this on GrabCAD. I'll post a link in the video if you want to get the GrabCAD file and see their videos as well.